Hello, everybody. You're listening to Let's Master English, and my name is Coach Shane. Hello, everybody. Thank you for downloading the podcast. This is Let's Master English 18. We have some serious news today, an interesting fact from Country Shane, and 4 great questions from you. So enough chit-chat. Let's get started. The mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 continues. Where is the plane? Where are the passengers? The Malaysian government believes terrorism, possibly led by the pilot, is behind this mystery. But for what aim? And this is just speculation. While thoughts and prayers go out to the victims, families want answers. Let's try that one more time. The mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 continues. Where is the plane? Where are the passengers? The Malaysian government believes terrorism, possibly led by the pilot, is behind this mystery. But for what aim? And this is just speculation. While thoughts and prayers go out to the victims, families want answers. So, I think most of you understand the story. You have probably heard about the Malaysian Flight 370 that left Kuala Lumpur and was headed towards Beijing, but it did not make it to Beijing. This happened over 1 week ago. Originally, they thought the flight had crashed, perhaps into the ocean, but that has been disproven. They have not found any crash site. There has been no wreckage, wreckage, WRECKAGE. That would be broken bits of the plane or anything. There's been many mysteries, including cell phones that were actually still working, but of course, nobody answered the phone. There have been mystery beeps on the radars. And of course, there was the mystery message left by the pilot after he turned off the plane's signaling device. Lots of mysteries, lots of questions, and it's a tragedy. This is very scary. I could not imagine the worry, the anxiety, the fear that the families are feeling. And if the passengers on the plane are still okay, can you imagine the horror and the senselessness that they are feeling? Remember, there were children on this plane as well as adults. The majority of the passengers were Chinese. Of course, there were people from Malaysia and several other countries as well. I do hope that none of you are directly affected by this incident. And of course, we hope that there's good news at the end of this story. So let's look at the first sentence again. The mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 continues. So the mystery continues. That's the sentence. And the mystery of what? Malaysian Flight 370. That's what the media is calling this incident. The Flight 370 is, I think it's a daily flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Now, since this incident, they have actually changed the flight number. They no longer use Flight 370. That number has been discontinued to show respect to the passengers and crew who were on this flight. So the mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 continues. Where is the plane? Now we can say plane, we can also say jet, we can also say airliner, and we can also say flight. So where is the plane? Where is the jet? Where is the Boeing 777? Where is the this aircraft? Many possible sentences here. Where are the passengers? And of course, it's the passengers, but also the crew. It's the mystery. Where are the passengers? Where are the crew? Where is the crew, rather? The Malaysian government believes terrorism, possibly led by the pilot, is behind this mystery. So how can we figure out the answer to this mystery? The Malaysian government believes the pilot might be the reason. They think it's terrorism, a form of terrorism, and the leader of this terrorist plot, P-L-O-T, might be the pilot of the plane. He was a Malaysian man, and if you go online, you can find lots of information. Well, not too much, but some information about him. And according to the media, he was involved and very emotional about politics. And the day that he flew this plane, one of his respected political leaders was put in jail. So they think this might be a reaction to that political leader going to jail. They call it terrorism. They think the pilot might be behind this mystery. He might be the key to solving the mystery of what happened on the flight. The next sentence, but for what aim? What aim? What purpose? What goal? If it was the pilot who stole, essentially, this plane, why? What is his goal? What is his purpose? And there are many ideas on what this pilot might do. He might sell the plane to another terrorist organization. Then the plane could be used as a bomb to fly into another country. Since it's been more than a week without any news, that's what most people are thinking, that it's going to be used as a bomb in the future. Oh gosh, I hope not. That's such a scary thing. So, but for what aim? Next sentence, and this is just speculation. Speculation, S-P-E-C-U-L-A-T-I-O-N, speculation. Speculation simply means guessing or hunches. And this is just a hunch, H-U-N-C-H. And this is just a guess. And this is just speculation. What is this? That this is an incident of terrorism. It still could be a terrible accident, and the plane may have crashed somewhere. But they don't think so anymore. But it's just speculation. They don't know. They have no facts. In the last sentence, while thoughts and prayers go out to the victims, families want answers. So, of course, around the world, many people are thinking about this incident, and they're praying for the victims on this Flight 370. They're hoping for the best. They're hoping good news will come soon. But that's the rest of us. The families of the victims want answers. They want to know exactly what is happening, how the investigation is going, and what facts the governments have. Yes, this is a big tragedy. Makes a lot of people nervous about flying and about what might happen in the future. So all we can do is hope and pray that everybody is okay, that everything is found, safe, and that the airplane is recovered, and that nothing further happens, nothing bad happens. So the story is pretty easy. I'm going to read it 2 more times. Our key words today, only 2. Aim, A-I-M, the purpose, the goal. What is your aim in life? What is your goal in life? What is the aim for Let's Master English podcast? The aim is to make English listening easier for you, to build your confidence. Speculation. S-P-E-C-U-L-A-T-I-O-N. Once again, a guess or a hunch. Those are the key words. I'm going to read the story 2 more times. Listen carefully. The mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 continues. Where is the plane? Where are the passengers? The Malaysian government believes terrorism, possibly led by the pilot, is behind this mystery. But for what aim? And this is just speculation. While thoughts and prayers go out to the victims, families want answers. The mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 continues. Where is the plane? Where are the passengers? The Malaysian government believes terrorism, possibly led by the pilot, is behind this mystery. But for what aim? And this is just speculation. While thoughts and prayers go out to the victims, families want answers. How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm here to bring you the facts. Air tragedies do happen, but don't be afraid of flying. Statistically, if you took a flight every day, it would take 19,000 years before you had an accident. This has been Country Shane bringing you the facts. Thanks for that information, Country Shane. So this is a reassuring fact. It's a fact that hopefully will tell you, yes, these air tragedies are horrible. They're scary because so many people are affected at one time. But statistically, the chance of anything happening is extremely low. So if you do fly, or if you're thinking about flying, you're going to be safe. It's actually much safer than driving. Okay, let's pick up the atmosphere in the podcast and move on to your questions. Our first question comes from Bilal. Bilal from Kazakhstan. Hello, Coach. Are the states in America, the 50 U.S. states, are they centralized? Were they, decided by the government, or did they grow organically, spontaneously? And what about the urban, suburban, and rural areas? So the question of Bilal is, how were the states in America formed? What about the cities and those areas? Well, Bilal, that's a great question. And the first answer is geography. Geography formed most of the states. And what I mean is lakes, rivers, and mountains. Those are the reasons for most of the borders. So if you look on a map, you will see that there are many, many rivers and even mountains and lakes that separate different states. However, the real reason, there is another reason, the real reason is money. Most of the states in America got their shape because of money. And in fact, there's a great documentary, and you can find it on YouTube. The documentary is called How the States Got Their Shapes. And they go into the economic reasons on why many of the states got their shapes, how the borders were formed, how they grew. So money is really one of the key reasons for the shape of the states. So what about the cities? Well, the cities, the big cities, were almost all formed because of transportation routes. Transportation for horses and walking and cars and trains and boats. So if there was a great area along a river that had a deep river or a deep lake, that place usually started a city. And they still, if you look on the map, there are so many big cities along rivers and lakes. Transportation. What about the suburban areas? So a suburban area would be an area outside of the city. And suburban areas are almost always formed based on the economic power of the city. So if the city has a huge economic base, more and more people move to the city. But living in the city is loud and dirty, so people start to move outside the city, but they still want water, electricity, and roads, the utilities, so they form suburban areas. And what about the rural areas, R-U-R-A-L, the country areas? Those were formed mainly because of cheap land for farming. And farming meaning corn and beans and wheat, and also for cows and chickens and pigs. So the cheap land for farming was very important, but all of these farmers needed a central area to sell their grain and their vegetables and their meat, and they needed to buy seed and supplies. So for that, once again, transportation was important, and that's how the rural areas were formed. So Bilal, I hope I answered your question. Our next question is from Gifstar. Is it Gifstar or Gifstar? I know both pronunciations are used when talking about a picture. Hi, Coach Shane. Could you go over the difference between the short U vowel sound and the schwa sound? I would really appreciate it. That's a great question. So let's look at the U vowel sound. The U vowel sound, the long vowel sound, is U, like university, universe, or use. The short vowel sound for U would be like hut, or but, or sun, S-U-N, sun. Okay? So that's the short U vowel sound. The schwa sound is very similar to the short U, but it's shorter. The short U, You actually need to drop your jaw, hut, hut, hut. The schwa sound, you don't move your jaw. So let me give you some examples. The word vitamin, V-I-T-A-M-I-N, vitamin. Now, actually, that's spelled with an A, but it kind of has a short U vowel sound, vitamin. But Americans don't say that. We say vitamin, vitamin, with a flap T, vitamin, vitamin, vitamin. That is the schwa sound. Let's look at this word. Celebrate. celebrate. C-E-L-E-B-R-A-T-E. Cella. Now, the faster we say this, celebrate. Celebrate. L. Not la, but l. Cella. Celebrate. That is a schwa sound. How about this word? President. P-R-E-S-I-D-E-N-T. So perfect pronunciation, president. It has an short I sound. However, usually we use a schwa sound. Preza, z. Not preza. That would be a short U. Preza. Don't move your jaw. President. How about this word? Occur. O-C-C-U-R. Some people do say occur, but most people say occur. Don't move your jaw, occur. And let's go to something with the U. So how about S-U-P-P-O-R-T? Support. The perfect U sound, short U, support. But most Americans don't say support. We say support. Very short. So the short U and the schwa sound are really similar. The big difference, when we make the short U sound, you should move your jaw down. Support. When we make the schwa sound, we don't move the jaw, but the sound is very similar. Support. So I hope you can hear the difference, and I hope my answer helps. Thanks a lot for the question. I really appreciate it, Gift Star. Our next question comes from Minji. Minji says, I have trouble distinguishing between effect, E-F-F-E-C-T, and affect, A-F-F-E-C-T. Sometimes these two words sound the same. Yes, they do. And this is confusing for Americans. So E-F-F-E-C-T, perfect pronunciation, effect, but we almost always use a schwa sound. Effect. And A-F-F-E-C-T, the perfect pronunciation for most people would be affect, as in a short U. But once again, we typically use the schwa sound, effect. So effect and affect can sound the same. Listen to this sentence. The side effect may affect your sleep. The side effect may affect your sleep. So side effect is a noun. Effect is a noun. Affect is a verb, but the sound is also effect. The side effect may affect your sleep. The side effect may affect your sleep. So always look at the full sentence. Is it a noun or a verb? And you'll get your answer. There's one other example that's very confusing, even for Americans sometimes, and that is accept, A-C-C-E-P-T, accept, and except, E-X-C-E-P-T. These words also sound the same when we say it normally. Listen to this sentence. We accept you, but don't accept your lies. We accept you, but don't accept your lies. Can you figure that sentence out? And our last question is from Batuhan Ape. I hope my pronunciation was okay. Thank you for this question very much. This question is, how can we improve our reading skills regarding numbers? Numbers that are written in a passage. Now, Batuhan is Turkish, and he reads them in a Turkish style. So he wants to know, I believe he wants to know how to read them in a proper English style. Well, that's a great question, and numbers can be very confusing. So, It's easy, but you have to master reading numbers in groups of 3. So for example, let's look at these 3 numbers. 3, 1, 2. How do we read those numbers? 312. 312. What about 210? 210. What about 302? 302. What about 002? 2. What about 020? 20. What about 300? 300. So hopefully you're able to master reading groups of 3. And then it's easy. Every time you see a comma, just say 1,000 or million or billion. So once again, a group of 3. I'll give you this number. 3, 3, 1, 2. So that should be 3, 312. So groups of 3. 3, 3,000, 312. 312. 3,312. What about this? 23,312. 23,312. What about this? 223,312. 223,312. What about this? 3,000,012. I'll read it again. 3,000,012. 3,000,012? In this case, if there are 000 in the 1,000 area, you just skip it. 3,000,012. So 3,000,012, 3,000,012. Does that make any sense? Now, there are other ways to read numbers. For example, a flight number, a telephone number, a year. So it kind of depends on the situation. So if you can give me a specific example or two, then we can read those numbers out. So I hope that gets you started on reading American numbers, or rather English numbers. They are confusing, but numbers are very, very important. Not only when you read them, but when you listen to them. If your numbers are wrong and you are a doctor, people could die. If your numbers are wrong and you are an engineer, buildings could collapse. If your numbers are wrong and you are a business person, you could get fired. If your numbers are wrong and you are a tourist, you might spend too much money. Thanks for the questions. That brings us to an end to another Let's Master English podcast. Once again, I sincerely appreciate you downloading this and leaving your comments. We got 7 more ratings on iTunes. I'm very excited. We have 6 5-star ratings and 1 1-star rating. We've got some people who said hello. We've got Eric Duong from the United States. Thanks, Shane. Thank you for everything you do for us. My pleasure. From Brazil, we have T. Calvat. And he says, this is a great way to improve the vocabulary. My pleasure. I'm very happy. And we have from Spain, Fino34. You deserve it, mate. After listening to your podcasts, I couldn't help writing you. First of all, thank you very much for your awesome job. Your listeners really appreciate it. Secondly, I would like to say hello to all the Spanish people who are abroad trying to learn English, like me. It's hard, but with your help, we will get it. Thanks again, and all the best from Pablo. Thanks a lot, Pablo. I really appreciate that. That really inspires me. And another one from Italy, from Jack78. He says, great! No doubts, the best podcast ever. I listened to this podcast while driving my car. Many accidents have been just avoided due to tons of laughter. Be careful, Jack. You are not a teacher. You are an actor. A comic. Great. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate that. We've got some comments on my YouTube channel too. The Tube Top 11 says, it was a funny story. Thank you. From Papillonnage. I can't pronounce that. What a strange and funny story. Thanks again, Coach Shane. My pleasure. From Emmanuel Guti. Your IQ is 175? Is that true? Maybe not. I think that might be too high. Anyway, Insuk Kim says, so funny. The herd of German cows passing gas and an explosion. Thanks for your kind explanation. And from Cesar Antonio Castillo Caldron. Thank you, Coach Shane. I always listen to your podcast, and it helps me so much. It increases my vocabulary in my brain. Your podcast has many tips for students of English, and I salute you. From my country of Peru, you care, Coach Shane, so much, and thank you again. I do care. I do want to help as many people as possible build their confidence in English, teach them new English words and expressions, talk about some news, and I really enjoy making these podcasts for you and for everybody, so thank you. Thank you very much. It is time to say goodbye, and I'll be back in 1 week. Don't forget, you can get this podcast on iTunes. You can get it on my website, www.letsmasterenglish.com, and you can get it after a couple of days on YouTube. And the YouTube channel is Coach Shane's ESL. And just search for that on YouTube and you'll find it. Go to the channel and you'll find the podcast. And if you're interested in taking my classes, I do have lots of free classes on YouTube. Just search for Coach Shane. You should be able to find them. And if you're interested in my premium class, which does cost money, but that helps to put food on my table and pay for my electric bills, you can get a free lesson if you sign up at www.letsmasterenglish.com/tryddm. That's it, you guys. See you next week. Bye-bye, and don't forget, let's master English!